Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Let me do your heart. What's happening, blacks? My good people. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know who it is, right? It is me, your homegirl, Ladosha Wright, aka Key Lolo. That's right, coming to you live and direct from my own little YouTube bedroom. That's right. I've turned this is actually my granddaughter's bedroom, but she's not here yet. She's here, but she's not at my house. So when she gets older, it's going to be all Kennedy'd out or whatever. But anywho, I'm at home chilling. It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha Wright, aka Key Lolo. And then right over there, let me get my finger right. Y'all know who it is. What's up, Shaniqua? It's my homegirl, the one and only, my BMF, the hair oracle. And she's coming to you live and direct from sunny San Diego, California. I can see that sunset. I have a sweater on. It's kind of cold up in here,
And how it's about 75. I don't know about y'all, but hey,
I'm about to do that. You know that? Have you guys seen that TikTok when the frame freezes and she like, baby, every time Cheryl talks about weather, I'm gonna go like this. Baby, we are officially, I think we are about 149 episodes. 140, not 40.
40.
49, 149 episodes in, and today it is all about specifically understanding hair disorders. Because in case you guys are new, welcome. We appreciate every single person who spends time with us, because we spend a lot of time on this platform, okay? So Facebook, what's happening, okay? LinkedIn, what's happening, all right? YouTube, of course, YouTube, what's happening? And then, of course, over on Instagram, what's up? And so in case you guys are like, well, what is this podcast all about? So this podcast is affectionately called, what's up, Williams Tonetta? The dumbest shit. And we do mean, right, Cheryl? Well, I do. And I do mean the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. This is actually like this is a podcast for consumer protection. How about we call it that? Particularly when it comes to hair care. And the reason why we do this podcast is because we are just appalled. We are also alarmed and maybe in some instances a tad bit ashamed of what's happening to consumers who are being duped by the unscrupulous characters in the natural hair movement. And of course, all the other characters. There's a lot of characters in the world of hair that are just ripping the public off. And so we're like, remember that group? We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. We just listened to a little, I don't know, I forgot who, I don't know. Sure, look that up. Who sang that song? We're not gonna take it. It wasn't, I don't know. I don't want to mess it up. I was gonna say Quiet Riot, but I'm sure that's not it.
Ooh, Quiet.
I don't know. Cheryl's going to look it up. Who's saying we're not going to take it? Because that is what we're doing. We are not going to take it. Okay. What's up, Shakespeare? I see you. What's happening? Selena, you still got that 50% off on that hairstyle coming. I might throw something else at you. You know what I'm saying? I know why you're here, Selena. It's okay. I know. Selena, like, yes, we are singing We're Not Going to Take It. But you got to be old school. No, that wasn't the Beastie
Sister.
Twisted Sister.
Ooh.
We're some fake rock fans. You know, I ain't got nobody.
Nobody.
Oh, nobody.
That Van
cares
Halen?
for me. We know who that is. That's David Lee Roth. So we all know. We know that.
Halen.
At least we got that right. My
Yeah.
boss come through to make sure that I'm working. Of course, Tando, this one is dedicated to you. All right. This particular podcast is dedicated to Mr. Tando Kafele,
King.
the king of lock. Y'all make sure y'all put some crowns in that chat for the king of lock. And we're going to tell you in a few moments why we are dedicating. Kafele, we were just talking about you and your family over in the natural hair community. We need to do better at helping you guys out. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Y2K, our virtual co-host, is in the chat, and she'll be reminding you to don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And then, of course, our Shaker Heights shaking them sister. That's right. LB is also in the chat. It was her birthday last weekend, and so we had dedicated that show.
How young how young are you, Miss LB?
LB like, Shakespeare, did I say what's up to you? I hope I did, because I see your picture up there. I see you up there. Oh, let me put everybody can see. Those are what I got these. Y'all know I got these readers on so I can see now. Hold on, let me just show this right quick. So y'all can say it. Shakespeare, like, why you gonna put me on blast? Because you just, if you was ugly, I wouldn't do that. Other people don't get no love on here. I'm just kidding. Ow!
No, he dumb.
Oh, yeah, he looked like that. I know who that is. Don't tell me it's Huey. That's who it is. If that's not, if that's you, boy, you really look like Huey. Okay. But anywho, we still like the photo, even if it is or ain't you. You know what I'm saying, Shakespeare. All right. So yes, so we got 149 episodes that we are representing. Okay. So we made it up here. And so again, tonight we're going to be talking about understanding scalp disorders, because the reason why we are picking these particular topics is that we are going to spend the entire year, which is the year of success, okay? And so we want to be able to capture and go over and highlight what have you all learned from the natural hair community about these various topics that we are going over, because it is Cheryl's and our ambition, our purpose is to really to be able to partner with that community as a resource. They have something to teach us. We have something to teach them. So we're just, what you call it, Cheryl? That olive branch is what Cheryl talked about.
That's right. Absolutely.
Because we know that when you critique people, some people have a problem with it. I get critiqued all the time. But our goal is really to bring some of this mis and disinformation to the surface and highlight it and be able to just kind of put you guys on the path where you can make better choices, because it is true. Knowledge does reign supreme over nearly everyone. You look at me and laugh, but this is the class. It's all our discussion of the suckers. Okay, I digress for a minute. So it is true that knowledge does reign supreme over nearly everyone. But it was my dear friend who told me it is applied knowledge that truly reigns supreme. So we are not here to just merely give you the knowledge. We are of the understanding that if you give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day. But if you teach a woman and a man to fish, you'll feed both of them for life. So our goal is to give you the information, right? So that you can make the choice. We're not here to tell you how to spend your money, but I'm telling you, working from behind that chair and traveling around the world and hearing so much heartache and so much financial strife that men, women, and children, because children are at the behest of their parents, when it comes to this hair thing, something has got to give. So we're not as stupid as number 45. So we won't be able to do a State of the Union address. But we do have this podcast, the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. So this is as close as we're going to get it. Right, Cheryl?
That's it.
That is it. So, Cheryl, are you enjoying doing this by any chance?
We talk offline, of course, and I just actually love this industry. So anything involved that can move the needle forward, I'm all for it.
You're all for it. She like, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I was actually trying. I can't find it now, and I knew that was going to happen. But it was an image of these border Caesars shaving off the hair of the immigrants in the I guess the detaining center. They are taking a serious playbook out of slavery. I'm just trying to figure out what are they trying to do? I mean, what's us missing, Cheryl?
You know, are they the ones coming in to the country, or they're just being deported? Which
Well, it's allegedly,
Mhm.
these are the ones that are from what's that country? I don't know. Was it not? Is it Venezuela somewhere? And they're saying that these were gang members, so he had to get them out of the country, and so he's evoking some 1768 act of I took a picture of it, but I just like, what you shaving off people's heads for? I'm just trying to, what they
Well,
say, make it make.
well, no, you guys got to understand. I have always said, as far as white cosmetology, straight hair cosmetology, just cosmetology in the Western world started as a preventative. Not that they knew how to do hygiene. It started as a preventative. So because they didn't really know, they did a preventative measure. So they cut off the hair. And me
But
just
what
say,
they cutting off, they're detaining them. So what, they got something?
no, they that is a way to prevent bathing.
Oh.
It's a prevent. It's one of, and you have to remember, people, especially collective groups of people, especially when they have recent memory of something that anthropologically that they have certain behavior patterns, and cutting of hair is a European thing. It is.
That is so sick. I mean, it is just like, oh, I mean, oh,
That
it is just,
that is part
it's just
of their hygiene.
sinister.
And it's degrading, and it's demoralizing, it's dehumanizing as well. It's that's what it's for.
Yeah.
I mean, without even, boy, that's a very melancholy conversation.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to find it, guys, but I can't. They probably just said, "Don't you gonna bring it up?" But anywho, so that's some more of that. I just can't seem to figure these mofos out. It ain't my place.
You
I
won't,
don't
and
think
you
we
won't.
ever can. We just won't. All I can say is, I'm just glad that I have no desire to be anything like that. If I'm trying to right a wrong of some people, I just can't imagine why
And
I would need to do
you
something.
have
Yeah,
no,
you got to do something like that.
you have no concept of how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, because we don't. I mean, I'm sure that I don't even know. But anywho, we digress. We just now we got to talk about these issues, okay? So again, we're going to be talking about understanding scalp disorders, and I want you guys again feel comfortable if you have learned anything from or things you thought that was true, maybe some questions. But right now, what's going on, Sweet Tashi and New Jerusalem over on Instagram? We want to know, what have you learned from the natural hair movement about some scalp disorders, or maybe you have some scalp issues and you've tried some things and you're like, you know what, that didn't quite work out the way that I thought it would. So drop that in the chat. And again, we gave some shout outs to all of our lovely supporters. And if you are new, then welcome to the dumbest shit that people say about black hair, because nothing gets dumber about black hair. I think scalp care is probably up there with hair typing. I mean, you just can't get any dumber stuff. Now some of this has to be broken down. So next week we are going to specifically focus on the follicle. I really want Cheryl, to help you consumers understand the follicle, and why you should or should not maybe be concerning yourself with that. What's going on, Sandra? Hello, what's going on, our Canadian babe? Oh yeah, it was Venezuela. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so these were people from Venezuela. Thank you, YK. I wasn't quite sure. Can we all give our Canadian sister a big warm welcome right here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel? Um, we're trying to, get over to Nova. Hope Canada won't smack us upside our head with our visas. Like, get your ass out of here. Canada, we ain't got nothing to do with that, man. I did not vote for nobody in this chat voted for him. So, as citizens of the United States, we are just as perplexed as you guys are. But Samantha, we are definitely trying to make it happen and come over there and check you out. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. So, as we hop into the topic about scalp conditions. We find this really important again because of all of the myths and disinformation surrounding scalp care and scalp disorders, particularly. And so we have some videos that we're going to highlight to generate the discussion. And at any moment, whether during the live or post the live, you want to share what you have learned, or I tried this product or this technique from the natural hair movement. And you know what? It didn't quite work out, or maybe it did work out. Maybe it did work out. And again, this show is dedicated to Mr. Tando Kefele. So everybody, don't forget to go over and follow him over on Instagram. He is the king of lock. Okay. And remember, March is Women's History Month. So on Thursday, we'll have another woman here. And Cheryl reminded me on Thursday that I did not remind you guys to get this book, Imperial Leather. We talked about this last year. So I personally feel that every single woman on the planet, if you don't read anything but the first paragraph, please, 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 I'm begging you guys, Imperial Leather, Race, Gender, and Sexuality, and the Colonial.
Oh my God.
Context. Remember, our sister Fatu is here attending the Commission on the Status of Women. And we played the video last week where the gentleman boldly said that patriarchy is on the rise in a not so good way. Not that it ever was good, but it's really bad now. And then just a shameless, humble brag. Friday, March the 28th. I am going to be amongst 3 other women who is going to be awarded recognized as women who inspire from the Dress for Success Cleveland. And that is coming from Melanie Butler. If you want to have some breakfast with Kilolo, the tickets are only $20. And I ain't going to eat my grits and, put some toast and butter on and eat all like that in front. I ain't going to be all like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be real, my little table manners. You know what I'm saying? So that's our little shameless plug here. Oh, also we forgot, Cheryl, that we do have the fete du jour. That's right. It is going to be happening at Urban Cuts Barbershop. This is Waverly Woods Barbershop over in Lorraine, here in Cleveland, Ohio. And don't forget, if you are a licensed professional and you want to do this in your city, with your group of people, Cheryl and I, we have the template, we have the whole thing laid out. It's a very affordable event that you can do so that we can get together and be supportive, especially when we're looking at some of the stuff that's happening over in the natural hair community, which we made it abundantly clear they are in dire need of support, especially in New York. Is that where they at? Sure, are they in New York?
Yeah, you mean Fatu, right?
Okay, they are. No. The natural hair people that are trying to get the hours. Okay, I wanted to make Kefele. If you're still in the chat, let us.
Yeah, the New York State, I think, has demoted
their hours.
Yeah,
they had. I think they said, was it 400 or was it 200?
I think it was supposed to be 400.
Okay, so Kefele, let us know that in New York, previously you had to have 400 hours to become a licensed, I don't know if they use the word license, but license or permit holder or something like that, certification, but they have reduced this down to 40 hours. And this is House Bills 5438. Yeah, this is New York. So, and they need your support. So this is the underscore NHBC. And so please go over, sign the petition. They have a website. They need some support because they want those professionals to have education, which you all know. I've spent my entire, half of my career for the state of Ohio to make sure that those people have education. So I commend them for that because they do need education. So that's another house situation. So again, if you're on Instagram, please, y'all, don't just be patronizing, but go over and like and sign that petition because they desperately need the support. I did find the picture though. Here it is, Cheryl.
Oh my God.
So this is Trump Caesar defends deportation and doesn't care what the what the judges thinks. And there they are. These are men in masks, and there they are shaving. This is boy, oh boy, that is modern day um erasure. That's just hatred. If I could not do that job.
And I'm sure they hide things in their hair or razor blades or something. I'm sure it is to completely strip them, so they can't hide anything. It is penal. That is how they behave in the penal system.
Yeah. Well, Venezuela,
prisoner of some kind of war. We don't know what war, but
they said that though that allegedly those were gang members. So we don't know that to be true or not.
You don't know who's the gang in the picture, do you?
No, they make the Bloods, they make the Crips. I can tell you that much. But anywho.
Yeah.
Well, that's just awful. So are you guys ready to get into the topic? We got a nice build in here. We do have our ingredient of the month. All right. For the week. And so our ingredient of the week is right here. Here you go, Cheryl. It is minoxidil. So also commonly known as Rogaine. And so I didn't know this till I looked it up, but this was a high blood pressure medication or something like that.
They got it from it's a vasodilator. Most people think it's a steroid, but it's not.
Well, what's vaso? I'm kind of slow. Now come on, not sure.
Vessel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So how so they accidentally discovered that what they do?
They just took the rate down and thought it would be appropriate as a topical. The other is an oral. This is a topical. Okay. And so the med that dilates is because they are thinking that some hair loss, as in disorder and conditioning. Now, the condition is dermatitis. A disorder would be dermatitis areata. That's the difference between a condition and a disorder.
Okay.
Right. And so male pattern baldness, female pattern baldness is 2%. I think male pattern baldness, minoxidil is 5%. So it's to now. Does it work? Because minoxidil, since it's a vasodilator, it increases blood flow. So they're saying that just maybe, that hair loss, and this is not the hair loss from a condition or disorder. This is just plain old drop in testosterone. This is more hormonal. Hopefully, that it gets to trigger the hair cell, and the hair cell triggers the follicle cell, and then hopefully it'll get to growing.
Right. But it does say, to your point, to Cheryl's point, It tells you what the description is. It's to stimulate hair growth in adult men and women with a certain type. It's the key word. Certain type of baldness. And the exact way this medicine works, Cheryl just told you guys they don't have a clue. And vasodilator is what it is originally used for. So, and that's the
You're right.
notion.
Right. That's why the high blood pressure medicine
Mhm.
made a very good topical, I guess, hair med to increase blood flow.
Okay. But now the verdict is out. So please do not go back and repeat that this will make the hair grow. They say they don't know. They don't know. So if you're taking this, it's probably like a 50-50 chance that it will work. I have some customers who've used it, and I would say if I had like 100, percent
Okay,
range,
yeah. You had 100 clients.
and I would say maybe one saw a little, but all of the hair did not come back. So, but they got a little fubble.
Yeah,
And it was kind of
and some people mix it up with a corticosteroid. They think it's, people get minoxidil kind of like mixed up with
a steroid.
I think I don't know if Rogaine is a.
I think Rogaine is the the name. That's the the marketing name.
Yeah, but I think what I'm saying is that when Rogaine first came out, I don't know if it was you guys can check if Rogaine is the steroid equivalent.
Okay. No, it's saying that Rogaine is the name.
Is the brand name.
Brand name. Thank you for minoxidil. So that's
minoxidil is actually the med. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Something like, see, that's why you gotta have Cheryl. See, I'm like something like that. Keep saying something like that. Okay. All right. So that is our ingredient for the week is Rogaine. So now you have a clear understanding. So remember, the verdict is out on exactly how it works. So for some people it may, and for some people it may not. And it was originally for high blood pressure.
It doesn't, because I think that Black especially locticians and braiders are not having the right conversation for their clients. I think that we need to have a different conversation. Our hair loss is different.
Okay, our hair loss is different. Now let's get into the scalp disorders. Now, these videos that I'm about to share are not in any given order of importance. Now, I do want to give everybody a warning. Some of these are just utterly gross. So if you have a weak stomach, close your eyes, okay? You can't smell anything, but I'm just letting you guys know that some of these images are not the prettiest, but these are people. Now, you guys know I go over to TikTok because TikTok has they have the coolest stuff, okay? I like YouTube. YouTube got some good stuff, but TikTok, they go off the Richter scale. So we're going to start off with scalp disorders. And now, Cheryl, before we get into the topic, can you, because our next podcast on the next Monday, the last one rather, it's going to be about who we should trust, when it comes to scalp care. But just for right now, can you share with us when it comes to these various scalp disorders, who are the people who are qualified to really assess, or is the word diagnose, stuff like that, about what people can do, just in case we got to get out of here. What I want to know off the rip. Should it be the cosmetologist? Should it be the dermatologist? Should it be the trichologist, or whatever ye say? So let's start off with that, and then I'll go into the first video. I just wanted to get you guys prepared. The videos are gross. Okay, go ahead.
And the reason why I'm going to say the cosmetologist is because most of the scalp conditions start with the person trying to style product their way into whatever problem they ended up with. And since they used something, they bought something, they did something, or they didn't do something, but it was all happening in their homes or their bathroom, or it happened in some form of their beauty process. Okay, didn't happen because they went in the woods and got some bacteria or something.
Okay.
Or it didn't happen because they took some medicine. Could. But the hairstylist is and should be prepared and educated enough and experienced enough to be able to say, oops, no, let's stop here. You need to go to endocrinologist, you need to go to a trichologist, and you need to go to your medical general practitioner. Or you
So
need to
you're saying the cosmetologist is the person who can look at that and really navigate or help navigate you into your next steps versus.
Yeah, because that person most likely will go to their cosmetologist before they'll go anywhere.
That's true.
Yeah, and the
That is
cosmetologist or their barber is going to see it first.
That's true. It's so true. I put it in my book, What They Don't Tell You at the Hair Salon. I had a customer who she literally she went down to light the the little thing, and her hair caught on fire. Her face, everything was singed, and she did not go to the doctor. She came to the hair salon. I'm like, dude, like, what you doing, Kilo? And she says, I don't want them to cut my hair off. I want you to do it. I don't trust them. I'm like, you need medical attention. So, and Yate, you're in the chat, and that is true. People will come to the hairstylist. Now we have to be responsible. So in our last episode for this particular topic, which is going to be the 31st of March, we're going to go more into detail about how that cosmetologist could and should be qualified to be able to do that. But so you're saying right now, just to get everybody started, you want to begin this process with a cosmetologist because they'll be able to navigate you to what professional can really go from there. That's correct, right, Cheryl?
Yeah, and they're going to direct traffic.
Okay, I like that word, direct traffic. All right, so let's direct some traffic to the first video. Now, the thing to Cheryl's point, all of these videos are exactly to Cheryl's point. These people are coming to the hair salon first for solutions rather than going to the doctor. That's one. Well, I don't have no proof of that, but the hairstylists you'll see in the various videos what they are trying to get some help with. So here's this first one, Cheryl, where we see things in the hair salon, right? So I had the cosmetology book right here, right? And so we have to admit that it's one thing, right, to read about a hair disorder in the book, right? So this book is so heavy. I'm sorry, y'all. It's like my Uzi. It weighs a ton. They don't know nothing about that. If you know about Uzi weighs a ton, drop who wrote it in the chat. Since y'all so smart, since y'all think y'all know so much. If you know about my Uzi weighs a ton, who wrote it. But in this book here, Cheryl, they do these scalp disorders and stuff, right? But when you see it in real life, it's like, okay, what's going on?
And you have to deal with them, and they're in your chair.
So this video, that's what she's asking. Help me out. So let's see what she's dealing with, and Cheryl, take it away.
So I allow my cosmetologist, my dermatologist, and my nodologist to tap in with this one. Have you ever seen this up close and personal? Because, I mean, it's a lot different from reading a book. Do anybody know what this may be? As you can see, once it get real wet, and once that water sit on it.
Okay. So again, if you have questions about your scalp, now is the time. We are licensed cosmetologists. Cheryl's a cosmetic trichologist. She could do a little bit more than I can, but I can navigate. So Cheryl, what do you say about what she just said? Hey, this ain't in the book. And I do see stuff. I'm like, ooh, I don't know. It does happen. It does happen. Want me to play it again?
You can play it again.
Okay, here we go. One more again, guys.
So I allow my cosmetologist, my dermatologist, and my nodologist to tap in with this one. Have you ever seen this up close and personal? Because, I mean, it's a lot different from reading a book. Do anybody know what this may be? As you can see, once it get real wet, and once that water sit on it.
Okay. So she used a little duckbill clip to kind of push the skin, but once she wet the skin, then all of the goo started to come off the scalp. So what do you think that was? And I saw there was no hair there. So I would take it she's going to add something on top of that.
Okay. So I'm going to walk you through just how my brain works, right? Okay. And I want you guys to see if you guys could really notice what's the first thing did you notice the difference in color. And so when you're diagnosing, the color matters because the color is going to tell you if something is shedding. Something that's shedding is, especially when it's on your scalp, it turns lighter once it starts to dry and oxidize. Okay. And so that's why the top skin was whiter. And the fresh, real, healthy skin was what color?
Dark
orange. Because
yeah.
that's the healthy, that's the blood circulation, that's the healthy scalp. And so once it starts to rise, just let's say like a eczema. Eczema skin is more scaly than psoriasis is more plaque. Okay. Problem with her is she keeps it covered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about it, Gina. Talk about it.
And so when she keeps it covered, okay, her thought process is that if she wets it, it is more manageable. But she doesn't fully dry it. And let me just say this. Now, you notice that those particular plaque, that's not dandruff, and that's not dandruff. That is, it's more of scabby.
Yeah.
So it's not skin. Okay. That is the part of what we call the wound healing process. The skin is trying to recover. And the problem is that she's going to go in with that instrument. She's going to cause another injury. And if you want to get your patient or your client to get rid of that situation, you're going to have to not wet it. You're going to have to get it off slowly, hopefully, with an oil, not a water.
Wow.
And so you just get rid of it. Check her ears, check everywhere she's got a crevice. She can anywhere it can hide. Okay. And you're going to have to give her, you guys notice when you guys would go swimming, your skin would be clear. When you go swimming, it's almost like it's powdery and it's smooth. Because, of course, chlorine eats bacteria, and sometimes you have sweat and bacteria on your skin, and it eats it off. Your face would be
white. We used to be looking like chalk. If you're not dark enough, sorry, Cheryl.
No. But
for the darkies, darkies.
But light skin people can feel it. It's powdery. Anyway, to make a long story short, that is how you begin to. And let me just say this: she did wet it. The hairstylist did wet it. I think to make it easier. But she should have put oil so something can starve whatever was on there, and then instead of making a mess, and that's a line. That's a long client. That is a long. That's a
right. I think I am going to be writing an article after we're done about the unnatural movement of unkempt hair, because I do think we are at some type of a proportion. I don't want to say epidemic or something very I don't even like the word to use, wrong, but misguided is happening to people who are not combing their hair. And what lies beneath is what concerns me the most. So that is why I picked that video, because people are of the understanding that they are looking for hairstyles that they don't have to do. So the understanding from a lot of consumers is that I can get a hairstyle for this Afro hair that, number one, is easy. Number two, it's not time consuming. Number three, and of course, it's cheap. And an added bonus, if it can make my hair grow, I want it. And so, as we work our way through these topics, these last two, which is going to be the follicles, and then, of course, who to trust, how do we come to grips with those four asks that the public is looking for? Because I think that's where the natural hair movement birthed its place. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
And let me just, before I even address that, but let me just say this. That particular client has two conditions because she has an inflammation issue.
Okay.
She has a follicular degeneration syndrome issue because the hair in the scalp has begun to scar. And that is a whole nother conversation. But
and that's what we're going to make the topic next week on follicles just separate.
But and I think that once again, I think the call that you started this podcast with, Ladosha, is that we need to, as an industry, start talking to natural hair care providers to get them ready for the flux of those types of clients coming.
And the consumer who's turning to social media, for help. And again, and we do understand, like, you go to cosmetology school for the license, that's the legality, but we are responsible to get more education, particular around the area of discipline that we want to specialize in. So that is our responsibility. We're not saying all cosmetologists can assess and help a person like that, but if it is in your wheelhouse, you need to definitely get more education. And if you are a consumer, you definitely want to go to that professional who is credible. But we're going to dedicate the last Monday to how you can decipher who's credible and who's not. Okay.
And then also we have to also get them prepared for, and then we can probably talk about it, next week, but the video, I actually think she did probably take a minoxidil. It looks like she has a adverse effect because, of course, once you have overuse, and she could be desperate and taking it wrong, but it looks like she does have one of the symptoms of extreme dry scalp.
Right. Okay. So
it's like a compounded issue, and that's why natural hair care providers and cosmetologists need to direct the traffic.
All right.
They need to say, stop using it. It's not work, and that's the communication we need to have with the medical professional.
Okay, so she talked about inflamed scalp. Now here, I don't know if he's an influencer or a doctor or a cosmetologist or a barber, but here is what he has to say about scalp inflammation and pH. And again, we are 149 episodes in, and we're helping you guys understand scalp disorders. All right, so here's his take on scalp inflammation and pH.
Scalp inflammation is the sole cause of hair loss, and there are 4 underlying causes that lead to scalp inflammation. All you have to do is restore the pH balance on the scalp and heal the skin, then your hair will grow back healthier. So listen up. As you can see in the diagram, the first underlying cause to scalp inflammation is the lack of blood flow. The solution is the super strength hydration mist and derma rolling. The second underlying cause is the lack of moisture. The second solution is a water-based leave-in conditioner, which is the cream and hydration mist. The third underlying cause is clogged hair follicles. So you need to make sure that you're having a shampoo 1 to 3 times a week and use the scalp exfoliator to get that dead skin. The fourth underlying cause is a mineral deficiency. So make sure that you're getting your sea moss, your bladderwrack, and your burdock root to get all 102 minerals in the body.
Now can I say it? Can I please say it? Can I just say it, y'all? Hit the yes right now. I'm going to wait Can y'all please give me permission to say it? Y2K, Sandra, somebody on Instagram, please help me out. Hey, Bentu, what's going on, Mabel Red? Can somebody please give me permission? Can I say Y2K? I think you're giving me permission. So I'm sorry. I know LinkedIn ain't gonna like it. I know LinkedIn. I know y'all bourgeoisie. You're not going to like it, so I'm gonna say it. That is the dumbest, and I do mean the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. Now I'm gonna break it down why it's dumb, and then Cheryl gonna take it to the next level. I'm just gonna go Kilolo style. So hydration and derma roll. She just told you derma roll, blood circulation. No man, no sir, no sir, no sir, no sir, no sir, no sir. Hydration. I don't know nothing about no hydration. No, I'm gonna leave that alone. Moisture and water. We just clogged follicles. That's it. That sealed the deal for the dumbest. We done told y'all 1,000 times. Let's go viral. Follicles cannot be clogged. Now, sure, I'm gonna do a little bit better, but I'm just gonna keep low on y'all. I'm just going up. Last one. Mineral deficiency. We's not doctors. We's ain't got no way to measure if you are deficient in a mineral. We can't do that. Not that we just not. That's just not gonna happen. And if we could, I guarantee you, looking at your hair loss, that's not going to be able to, we can't even tell you which mineral you're missing. So I'm going to stop right there because that is, and I do mean, the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. Welcome, 149 episodes in. We want you guys to understand scalp disorders. Cheryl, I did write them down. And I don't know if you want to break it down one by one, or if you just want to go at it. I got your back, boo. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, one by one.
One by one. Hydration and derma rolling.
No, well. All scalp conditions or disorders or hair loss, alopecias, are not inflammation.
I forgot that one. Praise the Lord. Oh, come on, y'all. Give it up. She said what she said.
But he's correct. Some are.
Some.
How do we know that, people?
Survey says.
Because they're called itis. We do know they are.
I thought that's when you eat a lot of food and you get itis. You know, I was tired, I was sleepy. ITIS. Anybody thought that? That's some dumb shit right there.
No. Your stomach is bigger because you ate. That could I can see how they can make.
That's another itis. That's another itis.
Right.
We better be careful because we don't want the president said we don't y'all itis over here. They took woke, now they're gonna take itis. But anyway,
but derma
itis.
Yeah. So you do know that there is some inflammation there. Okay. So he was okay. Half right.
He's stretching. Hit that thumbs up button.
Okay. So second one is what?
Hydration and derma rolling. So that's the solution. You're going to use a hydration mist and you're going to do derma rolling, which is that little thing that you roll, with the little metal thing, And
so one of the things that all medical professionals would tell you that once swelling starts, that is inflammation, that is the immune system saying, woo, something's in trouble or something is making you inflamed. I will say hydration, by the time a person says hydration, they're talking about inside, not outside. Wet is outside. Water is outside. If you can feel wetness, it's not hydration. Hydration means your tissue or you're dehydrated. You're hydrated means inside. It means inside the tissue. So, but he made the leave-in conditioner the culprit. I guess on that, that's not.
Yeah. Well, he said moisture and the leave-in.
Right. You can't do anything on the outside to make your hair hydrated.
Come on, say it. skin. I don't think they heard you
You
though.
can do something on the outside to make your hair lubricated, but you cannot do anything to make something that doesn't have a hole. There's no way to get in there.
To my
Okay.
people in the back, the whack, say
Now,
no time for hair
I
hydration.
understand how he tried to get there with the pH, but he does not know. When you say just adjust the pH, most people will just go get apple cider vinegar, or people will get baking soda.
Well, but what's the fascination with the pH? Come on, y'all, wake up.
It's something.
What's your fascination with pH, and what's that other one?
Porosity.
The one I got into with the lady on. I got into with a lady on TikTok. What was that? Porosity. What y'all gonna do with that? pH and porosity. I'm still kind of. That's a whole nother. We might have to digress on that one. What is your obsession with pH and porosity?
I think it's something that belongs to the cosmetology world. I think that they're quite fascinated, and I think that they want to have some cosmetology stuff of their own. And they have adopted some of the simplest terms of cosmetology. And I think that they've attached to it and are trying to solve some of their problems, or trying to prevent some of their problems. And they just don't have the cosmetology training to kind of make those things work.
Yeah. So no leave-in conditioner with the moisturizer. Okay. Okay. Yeah. What about his next one? Clogged hair follicles. That's under his inflammation thing. That clogged hair follicles are what inflames the scalp. I'm gonna put your picture up. Don't forget we have that for sale.
Right. Like I said, hair follicles is a factory that is meant to have an energy that comes out. It doesn't have a way to get things inside.
And whatever happened to no two objects can occupy the same space at the same time?
A grain of lint, a grain of product, does not have a way to seal. And because it's only going to seal because the hair is in the middle. So there's no way to actually go inside it and clog it all the way into the book.
Can I just say it one more time? No two objects can occupy the same space at the same time. We learned that shit in the 6th grade.
One follicle, one hair, one follicle.
It ain't going in there, y'all.
I think what they're getting it from, once again, they're getting it from the dermatology world, because they think because you get a pustule or you get a blackhead, but those things are coming from the bottom up, not the top down. The sebaceous gland is hyper, it's overactive, so it deals with overactive your hormones, your pituitary gland. It could be your
bacteria and all that.
It could be a lot of things, but it's a upward kind of motion. It doesn't have the ability to suck in and stuff to drop in. That's science.
And I think they have and it could be just from a very elementary or rudimentary thought processes, that because the hair is coming out of that little tiny hole, that something can.
I think it's a hole.
Yeah, it's a hole. It's not. It's an organ.
It's a root.
It's a root. It's an organ. Or can everybody say it? Come on, say it. Organ. Okay.
Has ever planted some nice strawberries and beets and beans, sprouts and grass? I want you guys to remember this. You guys remember a rose in the side of the sidewalk crack?
Mm-hmm.
Semen won't stop it. If semen won't stop a goddamn weed, shit ain't clogging that baby. Okay.
Y'all got that? Okay. All right. His last point was mineral deficiency. Are cosmetologists able to tell through scalp inflammation that you are mineral deficient?
No. Some trichologists do have mineral tests. Problem is that they are not able to what you call prescribe any medical grade. Let's say there are some medical grade vitamin D. There are some medical grade when you are iron deficient. But you need to understand when I say, okay, to a person, because I study pharmacology, right? I know when I say to vitamin E, I know that there's two different types. There's a real one, and then there's a stored commercial one that you guys buy in most vitamin stores.
You know the one y'all be popping, putting on your hair and stuff on your skin.
So, so at the end of the day, if you don't understand vitamin and mineral deficiencies, you should kind of, and see, in my trichology practice, I didn't do that. I still referred to a nutritionist. I still referred to a OBGYN. I still referred to them because that is not basically what I do, even though I am familiar with it.
I think that's what Yate and Miko Pearson is over here on Instagram saying, teach us, Cheryl, teach us. Yate says she does the same thing. I know I do it. As a matter of fact, it is on our trichology form when you fill it out that we will say, you need to go to a doctor. So we just have to be, I mean, nothing wrong with your opinion and thinking that someone might need a supplement.
You guys can come and see Dr. Joy.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. But cosmetologists in general, we can't. Yeah, we can't measure mineral deficiency. Okay. But before we go to the next video, our virtual co-hosts are asking Cheryl to give you guys clear instructions right now because the chat is looking pretty full and we do appreciate you guys for rocking it out with us. But we don't want you guys to just sit here and look at us because I know we're looking kind of strange for some change. But do this right now. Here we go. Pampa me on, pampa me on. Come on, hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget, share content. Maybe you might have a cousin or a friend who's like, have some scalp issues and they want to understand it. Now is a good time to get your knowledge on and be able to make application with the information that we're giving you. And again, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. So here is our next video. Now, this one here is a severe. Now, this is the grossest one of them all. So this cosmetologist is saying that she actually tried to get this guy to stop doing the locks, take the recommendations. So let's talk about this when consumers or customers don't listen to the technician. Okay, so this one is severe scalp situation. That's all I can call it. Here we go. Warning, it's gross. It's gross.
His locks in for years, and he actually has spongiodermatitis, a severe case. So I know you guys always think that I don't like to sanitize my sinks, but here you go. You see my gloves. I have them on. So as you see, I'm going to try to separate his locks so I could break those dead skin barriers. He's been suffering with this disease for years, and I told him it's time to let go of his locks, but he refuses to let go. So as I have this mass here, I have to use this orange comb to kind of scrape off the top layer with the really big flake. So I use my homemade treatment with mayonnaise and apple cider and some other things. I'm not going to tell you guys. You guys need to go check my TikTok shop if you want to know more. But this is going to revitalize his locks for sure.
Wow.
Dumb shit. Dumb shit. What's up, Valencia? That's some more dumb shit, y'all. I'm with you, Y2K. I mean, at some point, I keep trying to tell y'all. I know it's just... Now when the chat starts. It's that the chat usually don't curse, but when the chat say, "Oh hell no," and we know her heart is truly in the right place. She does not mean any harm. But now this one is a little content heavy in its response. I just all I can say is, as a professional, you have a greater responsibility than to yourself. Even if your heart is in the right place, you have a greater responsibility than to yourself, your business, your money. You have no business messing around with that. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. And I'm with you. That is definitely oh my goodness. Please hit the thumbs up button because we're just trying to keep it real here to help you guys understand. This is what's happening in real time, and this is why we're such staunch supporters on education and So, but anywho, sure, I'm getting a little,
Yeah.
So let's go through it. The scalp. She said, "Yo, you need to stop wearing these locks," but she's putting them in anyway. Her solution is mayonnaise and apple cider vinegar, and I'm like,
Well, I don't think she doesn't have enough information as to why she chose food instead of a cosmetic or a medication, because she didn't understand the dire
I mean, it
of.
was green. Did you guys see that? It was green and yellow. I mean,
So
come on.
when things turn green and yellow, it is mixing with a systemic issue. That's
Systemic. What does that mean? Break that down for me.
He has some scalp injury, and it's mixing with bodily fluid and surface pathogens. And so here is where you're supposed to be. And I know that she's just a loctician, or maybe she's a natural hair professional. And this was where she needed her cosmetology training at this point, because the training would have allowed her to put her foot down and to not let him tell her anything. You're sitting in my chair. I'm not sitting in your chair. You're not going to tell me what to do. So what you can do is that I can refuse service, or I can get you, because this is not about me showing off for TikTok and social media so I can give you some food kitchen kind of remedy. Because by the time the smell, the color, the odor, the sensitivity, the pain, and at that point, the safety of herself. This is just not just about gloves. She protected her hands, but she did not protect her practice. And she sure didn't protect anything that could have been airborne. So the issue is, for me in this whole video, was just her lack of being a professional. She was worried about styling hair, because you have to remember, what is on the scalp could possibly be transferred to the hair. It could have started on the scalp, but now it's in the hair. Okay. And so there is no way to rehabilitate now. That's number one. Number two, he does not have the mental capacity to groom himself properly. Either he doesn't know, or he's not in this mental space. You have to take control. She did not take control. She was worried about her social media of making some magical, and I don't know if the finished product is on there, but he is not in a mental space. This is a client, or a potential client, but this is first a patient. She's not servicing him properly. That's my opinion.
But can we just kind of address two things? Okay, two things. And I know you're saying that her motive is, likes, and she's trying to sell, something, but can you go deeper into the psyche of a professional who does that? Even though I know we're going to go a little bit more into detail. Now, I will save this video for the end of the month so we can, revisit it. But for right now, in your opinion, what is it, or why, maybe what or why is it that a professional would push the envelope and move over to the food? That's one. And then two, can you even go over, when you talk about his psyche, looking for because the locks is something that you don't have to do. So he's telling her, I know I should, but I ain't. So what do you think his belief could be about those locks or his hair or whatever that he would not accept her advice? So just maybe a little bit deeper into those two, because they're both toxic to one another. I'm just saying. When you talk about toxic, that's really toxic.
Well, let's put, first of all, he doesn't have a job. Let's be honest. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't.
Wait, hold on. Why you say that? Not Key. I'm calling you Key Lolo.
Why do you think I absolutely am quite sure he doesn't have a job?
I have no idea why you would say that.
Because you think he's going somewhere like that?
Oh.
You think he's showing up and making a living for himself somewhere like that? You think it doesn't have an odor? You don't think it's extremely self-conscious for him? Do you think that in our in a consultation with me or yourself or anyone who does hair coaching or any type of consultation would allow him, and he's under your care, that I would allow him to leave my place of business and to leave my care and for me to listen to him? You think that would absolutely happen? No, because that is not professional. And people leave the hospital all the time against the will and the advice of doctors. However, I know that he's not going to work. That's number one. I know that he is isolated from his family. I know a lot because once you are experienced, you know people who are doing that to themselves are not connected. One, and his refusal after hearing his reason of why he would refuse, it is not rooted in culture. It is not rooted in anything. I think that is more of what we call, you talk about it all the time, oppositional defiance syndrome. He's defiant in something. He's embarrassed. And I think that he probably have just allowed it to go. But one of the things that the reason why she would record it would be for sensational issues. And so therefore, both of them are out of the profession. And they're out of, they're just out of, you need to take care of your client. That should have never been on. But I'm glad it's because we're talking about it. But I do know that has to be because if she could not be possibly see that and then go to her refrigerator.
Yeah.
That just doesn't.
And I'm glad I poked the giant. You know, I had to poke her, y'all. I had to poke the giant. Not because the information is salacious, but it's deep.
Yeah. I agree.
And we want you guys to understand that, you know, this is why everybody keeps asking, you know, can you do stuff on YouTube? Can you do stuff? This is why we say no, because some of this stuff to be able to be taught, because that could have been used in a private setting to teach, because you're going to exploit a person. And that's why some pictures I don't take and some things I don't do, because it's no other way to say it. You are exploiting a person, especially when it's to their detriment. And so I just really wanted to show that, because that's a no-no as a professional.
And I'll be honest with you. I would have been quite perturbed with her. I would have been, not because I don't think she's good, and she's probably a very good, but iron sharpens iron. And I would have been, you're muted, P. Lola.
I was telling my aunt I was on my podcast.
And yeah, I would have really been quite angry with her. And at the end of the day, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I had it off. How many people in the chat, if you're a professional or a customer, would you have wanted that to be on social media? Let's just get some interaction here so we can get these algorithms, moving. So we need you guys to just keep rocking it out with us here on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. How many of you felt like I would have said put me on there, or how many of you said I would have showed it too? I don't care what you and Key Lolo said. Y'all ain't the gatekeepers, okay? So we'll wait for some responses. So we got another video while they're responding. Would you have one? Would you have showed it, or would you said show my hair and show these people what your mayonnaise and honey or whatever could do? Okay. All right. So this one here, this always comes up. But speaking of that, is what to use on the hair when you have a scalp condition. So this is what this one customer or consumer does to just kind of get a feel for what to do when she has scalp concerns. Here we go.
Okay, so I've been getting this question a lot of like what shampoos to use for dandruff or scalp disorders overall. And I just want to say I am a product trier. I don't like to waste my money. So I do like get on TikTok, I get on Google, I get on platforms to find reviews and see what other hairstylists are saying about these products. I talk to my hairstylist friends. Like I reach out to I use my network. I know a lot of people, sometimes we can get a little egotistical and we don't want to ask people questions, but at the end of the day, we all coexist for a reason. And I'm not going to be that person that doesn't have answers because I'm scared to ask. So I am big on researching products before I use them. I will go into the stores even and ask them, hey, what's your sales on this product? Because if the product is sitting on the shelf, nobody's buying it, which means I'm not about to buy it because it's not doing anything. But these are my 3 favorite shampoos for scalp disorders. So the Scalp Care by Mazzani, really good. It has the...
All right. So she said if it's sitting on the shelf, she ain't buying it. Now, don't nobody tell her about the word restock. We just going to leave that alone. If it's I guess we bless her little heart. So in all seriousness, thank you guys. Y'all came through with them answers, Cheryl. They said no, nope. They would not want that. There you go, Valicia. Hell no. So Cheryl, you're okay. Everybody's in agreement with you and I that no, you should not have done that. Okay. So what could people do over the counter for some common hair disorders that, like here's what you could do?
I will be honest. I'm gonna be really honest. And
everybody lean into your screen a little bit more. Let's hear this one.
In the defense of consumers, I understand. We understand as an industry. We're gonna do a better job of not just product knowledge. Product knowledge is not enough. It is guidance about educating you so you know when to make choices. If I told you about a particular bottle, you could not turn around and you could. The first word is what's most in it, and this and that and this and that. What natural hair has taught you. All of that is fine, but I will still say, call your local hairstylist and ask them the results you're trying to get. So what's in the bottle or the jar that can most likely meet those results, that's where you put your money. Don't just put your money with something. You don't have to keep trying. You can't, that's expensive.
It is.
Trying it and trying and trying until you get it and try. Let's cut off, because at the end of the day, the only person's getting rich off your pain and your frustration is the manufacturers and the retail outlets.
Right.
So you gotta just call, get a rapport with a professional, because guess what? I'm just gonna be honest. Guess who's tried more than you?
Did y'all see that at the same time? I'm telling you, our job as cosmetologists, Philip Lucy teaches. He teaches results beyond the salon. Okay, what's up, Rebecca? How you doing?
Hey, Rebecca.
Y'all give y'all cousin Rebecca a big round of applause. Hold on, Rebecca. I ain't gonna forget about you now, boo boo, because we have to show love when our cousins come through. Rebecca is our new cousin. Y'all know that's Pookie's daughter, Rebecca. Y'all know her. She looks just like her mama. There you go, Rebecca. Big round of applause for you. Thank you so much, guys. Again, 149 episodes in, and we are talking about understanding scalp disorders. And so what we want you guys to understand when it comes to those hair care products, that's one facet. I think any hair professional can't argue the other 2 points. You got the right products, the right tools, and the right technique. It doesn't matter if you have the correct shampoo. But if you have the wrong technique on how to cleanse it, use it, you're going to have a problem. If you have the wrong tools, you're going to have a problem. So you can buy all that stuff, but you still need the other 2 components. And then, like Cheryl said, when you visit a hair professional, that is our job. Philip Lucy taught or teaches. It's about results beyond the salon. We don't care what you're going to look like when you're sitting in a chair in front of the mirror, because that's a moment in time. We would like to see you in the grocery store. Isn't that right, Cheryl? We want to see you like later and your hair is like looking like, we don't want you to come. Oh, here comes Cheryl. I don't want to see my hair. We don't want you guys to do that. We really want to bump into you and see how your hair looks lived in. So when people say,
don't worry about it. I'm going to see it in anyway.
Yes, my curls going to last, and comb it. Just curls don't last. So stop asking that question. It's just forget about all. Just roll it up at night and be done with it. So it's all about results beyond the salon, and we can help you with that. Some salons will charge you to do the consultation. Is it worth it to pay for the consultation, Cheryl?
Well, let me just say this. If you pay, for either me or you, or even email afrohairsummons or at Gmail. It doesn't matter. But it does matter to walk in, get a hair coaching session, and you can actually leave. They don't necessarily have to do your hair just because you're giving them a consultation, but that $100, $75, $50 will save you $200.
Right.
I always say, would you rather save money or lose money?
I don't know about y'all, rather say. Valencia says, let me just say this, y'all. Both her kids had scalp issues. She didn't know what to do, so she took them to a dermatologist. It's just going to save you time and money. Don't buy all of that stuff, because all you're going to do is end up with a closet or shelves full of products that you just, you're trying to use them down, like cheap perfume. You know what I'm saying? All right, here's our last one. And this one is Cheryl, this one, I'm sorry, y'all. This one ain't gross, but it's quite interesting. So this is our last video, and this one is about tender-headedness and spiritual. That's a scalp. Yeah, that's a scalp condition that people are concerned about, is that it hurts. Why does it hurts? But this one is going to associate tender-headedness with spirituality. Sure, like, what are you talking about, Willis? Here we go. Tender-headedness and spirituality.
You're experiencing tender-headedness or a sore scalp, and you're wondering what it can mean for you spiritually. Well, I'm here to tell you. Hi, my name is Danielle, and I'm a spiritual life coach, and I help you decipher the signs so you can come back into alignment and attract what you want effortlessly. So, if this is you, let me tell you what this means. Your crown chakra is opening. It is opening and allowing in spiritual connection, spiritual information. It's expanding. It's allowing you to receive the spiritual guidance that's waiting for you. The next meaning, energetic sensitivity. Feeling emotional, you're feeling sensitive, you're feeling intuitive, and your body is picking up on those signs. Your guides are telling you that it is okay that you're feeling tender, you're feeling emotional, you're feeling sensitive about something that's going on in your life, and this is just the physical manifestation of that. You are releasing stored trauma. Trauma in your life is being released from your body, and the fact that you are tender-headed, your scalp is actually hurting right now continuously, is just that expansion that's released from your body and it's coming through. So those negative thoughts, those negative ideas, that negative trauma that lives in your mind, in your brain, is just simply releasing from your body.
You ain't shit. You some shit.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever in my long-legged life. No, I never, ever in my long-legged life.
Well,
I know, look at the chat is like, stop it, Judy.
what is it about?
She's so articulate and so pretty. She's very trusting. I mean, she had over 300,000 likes. That's almost viral.
That's viral.
That is viral. She literally went viral, and people were like, is that why my head is tender? My chakra. I am not an art. Is chakra, is that Ayurvedic? I'm not. I don't want to mess up.
Is Sanskrit. It's
I don't know that they ever. I don't think. Is that from India, right? I don't know if Indians use tender-headedness as a cultural lexicon, or I'm not Indian. I'm just not the red dot one. I'm cheap. I'm cheap Cherokee. I'm Jeep Cherokee Indian. That's what I am. Anybody else out there, Jeep Cherokee?
And I do think that I don't know if maybe Black people are just on some different level, right? And we're just like, our Afro-ness causes us to be having our chakras like at 2, 3, 4 or 5 years old, and we're tender-headed, and because your chakra Kilolo has been opening since you how long?
Oh no.
How long has your tender-headedness been?
My tender-headedness, well, my mama snacked that on up out my head with a belt. That's how I got rid of being tender-headed. I don't know. My mother would have said my chakra was open and I had some trauma. I got some trauma for you. You better sit your little nappy-headed ass. I had a Black mama. She didn't play that. I know we should be calling our kids no nappy head, such a little nappy headed ass still. I don't support that. I wouldn't say that to my kid. Well, I did. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't recommend that in today's time, because you might lose custody of your children. And I don't know. Donald Trump might be okay with saying stuff like that for Black folks. But I mean, that was culturally, that was acceptable back in the day. I know y'all say y'all shouldn't, but I turned out just fine. Tender-headedness, does it? I mean, I'm just joking. I'm being very facetious and mean. But no, does it have any spiritual? Could it possibly have? I'm reaching y'all, I'm poking the dog. How y'all doing over on Instagram? Oh, what's up, boss? Dummy baby, how y'all doing? Y'all just keep hanging on in there with it. We trying to get through this. That was the last one. So let's see. Everybody go down. Here comes all the trauma revealing. If y'all want to reveal y'all trauma, go ahead on.
Yes, Sandra.
Yes. Trauma at 3 years old. Yeah, she's 6. Everybody come through. I'm 60 and is still very tender-headed. All right, y'all, come on, let these tender-headed traumas go out. My mother said you tender because you're just not. You gotta get your hair combed.
Right. And I don't know if any other race of people can understand our tender-headedness. Maybe this is a way that we could, explain it away without being shame about the naps.
Right, but I think when I write my article, because I feel that this is where the natural hair movement really came. And they got their mojo, they got their inspiration from that situation of tenderheadedness, because their mother or their dad or their aunt or whoever was pulling, and it really, it hurted. And so they were trying to come up with this way to do this hair without hurting, and not understanding that, you have to comb your hair. And as you comb it, it just doesn't hurt as much. And that's just
I'm not. I don't even want to touch it.
my black Baba Dick.
Okay, so Miss V, she didn't care if your shit was opening, you having a spiritual experience. Just sit your ass here.
And like she said, my mama said, I will give you something to what? Come on, y'all, say it. Everybody know.
Cry about, sing about.
We know number 45 and them gonna steal this one too. They gonna steal it, okay? But they steal all of our little slang language. But yeah, so yeah, my mother said I give you something to cry about. You know what I'm saying? So you couldn't, not at all. That's right. I mean, what you better, suck it up, Susan. And don't be trying to get somebody to feel sorry for you. But this is what my brother said. Used to say. Just go on and get it over with. Because the guys didn't have no, they would just be like, oh.
Yeah, from what you say, they crying now.
They would pick
in the spot crying now.
Because see, if you wouldn't pick out the Afro, you know what your mother would say, right? She just gonna cut it off. So the guys would just
hey. Well, the guy with the locks said, "No, I ain't cutting it off. I know it's toe up. I know it's nasty, but I'm keeping it."
Because Samson didn't cut his hair. You saw what happened to Samson.
He had powers.
He had powers in that hair, them locks. Okay. We're just being funny, but culturally, cutting hair has just tripping. It has different meanings in different cultures within the African American community. Right. So, but for the most part, depending on how old you are, tenderheadedness was not going to save you. It was just, no, ma'am, no, sir. You had to get your hair combed. And like
I will tell y'all, tenderheadedness is not a real thing. Y'all need to stop with that. Okay.
I know some people after the live gonna be like, I disagree with Cheryl because
I know.
Tell them why it's not a real thing. I'm sorry, y'all. My nose is running from laughing at Felicia.
Wait.
Why is it not a real thing?
Because y'all not gonna tell me that black folks got different scalps. Y'all not gonna tell me that. Now, if we just got into a cultural situation, then I can buy that. But you are not going to tell me it's a part of the nervous system. Not. Okay. Maybe, maybe y'all, and maybe she right. Maybe y'all need the Lord. Maybe
she
y'all
said, okay. She said, Negro spirituals in the real world for sure. We try to make this podcast not so black, but the culture just keep coming through.
Okay, big time.
Big time.
Right. You guys
them Negro spirituals is the real word for chakras, okay? when getting them naps combed out. Now, see, everybody like, don't be using that word nappy, and y'all should. I'm telling y'all,
you know what? And isn't it ironic that most people who say they are tender-headed, they don't ever be bald. They always got a bunch of goddamn hair. Y'all lying. Y'all didn't want to get that shit combed. Now y'all have some. I think y'all should go to therapy. Okay,
and that's the other thing. I mean,
so
like
that's another service for hairstylists.
Yeah,
a tender-headed therapy.
Ooh, Yante, let's exploit the situation. Come on, let's exploit it. Tender-headed therapy. That could be good. That could be good. I say it once and I say it again before we wrap this up. The number one reason in my career that I lose a customer is because I tell them you got to comb your hair. I mean, that is, even if you look at some of the complaints that we're 5-star rated, Google rated, but we do have some complaints. And if you scroll through, you will see, I'm not paying you no money for you to tell me I got to go home and comb my hair. One woman spritzed a lady who was like in her 70s, and all the problems she was having. We said, she said when she goes home at night, her hair just comes out. And we said, well, you have to, if you're wearing your hair down like that all day long, you got to comb it a couple of times throughout the day because it's going to just get matted and tangled by the time you go to bed at night. She started crying. She started hyperventilating and said that she was over 70 years old and she was not going to have somebody tell her that she needs to comb her hair. We are not her mother. And I know why she was crying, because she know that's what her mama told her to do. You have to comb your hair, especially if you're wearing it down with these modern hairstyles. Ain't nobody combing back and pushing up, the old Coretta Scott. Ain't nobody doing that no more. So if you're wearing these straight hairstyles, them afros, you got to tell them afros down at night. And I mean, you got to braid them down. I don't know what y'all just keep fighting it for. It's not going to help you with your tender-headedness.
Let me ask you guys a question. I'm just curious. One of the things that in most of these particular cases, these are individuals who are obviously struggling about something. And that's why even I had a couch in my salon in Harlem. And we would spend a lot of time on the couch before we got in that salon chair, because one of the things that I needed to do is preserve my feet, my back, my arms, my elbows, my brain, my energy, my hands. And I'm not screwing with y'all if I don't have to. So I want to sit down and let's talk about the plans that we are planning, because if we gonna have some kind of war. Now, the conversation we had with a 70-year-old woman, I'm sure Dr. Spritz and the Reverence Design team, wonderful energy in the salon, knew that was a 70-year-old woman talking about her mama.
Yeah, she definitely was regressing.
But the point of the matter is that's not normal. And we as an industry need to make sure that that's one of the reasons why in my manifesto, you said you're writing an article, we have to raise the bar, and we'll be discussing that, on Thursday as well. But the issue is that we have a beauty. We got to maybe, after that, because this is the 25th anniversary.
It's 25 years in of this natural hair movement, and
full generation. This is a full generation.
And they still.
And we can look at what it has produced in 25 years. And this is a generation. So the Gen N, this is Gen Natural. And this is not working.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And we see it. We sit on the street. We sit in the salon. Or like I said, y'all better get that red hair. And everybody it costs too much. Y'all better do the math because y'all can pay me. And I tell all of my customers, get a red hair. You don't need to be spending all no money up in here. Salon's gonna take all your money. Trust me, I own one. They're not for the faint at heart. If you just always, grappling and you just like to mess around, do it yourself. You don't need to pay somebody to do this. We can help you. And this is a shameless Rev Air plug. That is what it's for. It's for people who you don't like that tugging and you're quote unquote tender headed. Then just put that thing on there and let it suck the hair dry. And I guarantee you'll be like, holy smokes and gee whiz. Rest in peace, Dwayne Wiggins. But that's just how it's going down. So we're going to be back here on Thursday. It's Women's History Month. And so we have some women guests. We're still waiting on some confirmation. We have our last one. Our next one is still checking her schedule to see if she can come on. But we're still celebrating women and the history of hair and science and all that other good stuff. And so this has been a very fruitful discussion about understanding scalp disorders, though the last one kind of threw us for the loop. Sure, you did not conclude us with your thoughts on, as we wrap it up, spirituality and scalp.
Since cleanliness is next to godliness, which is not in the Bible, I don't actually think there's a Bible verse that says that. But what we do know that within our cultural traditions, even though there's thousands of different cultural in the continent, in our homeland, and then within the diaspora, is many different ways to cleanse and personal hygiene and align with your beauty process. But one of the things that the world is looking to the Black peoples and peoples of color in North America. And we have definitely, and thank you, Ladosha, for this. Whew, it was full. It was tense. Because we want to give you as many answers as possible. So if you guys feel free to email us. Once again, we tell y'all to use the email because we want you to be able to ask any question. No question is dumb. No question is too far out there. And let's just, talk about it. And that's what I used to do for a living when I was in New York, and I've done here, and I still do it. But please, either if you're in the Cleveland area, go by the Rivers Design Team and just have a conversation.
And our consultations are complimentary.
Come on
now, I'm not speaking for anybody else's. You have, you get 15 to 20 minutes at no cost. If you need more than that, you need a hair appointment so that we can be more into detail, but you can do that virtually. And this is before the pandemic. We always use our smartphones. Yeah, you could do a video chat.
Absolutely.
And you do that, or we can do a Zoom if you want a Zoom meeting or whatever. So, or you can come in person. Like I said, you can come in person, but ours is 100% free. And the reason why I do it, because like Cheryl said, my background is an outreach, and I do understand the mental issues around hair. And I know a lot of people can't afford it. So that's just my gift, to the world. So, it's free. And but there are a lot of cosmetologists and barbers who do them. You don't have to just come to Cheryl and I, but if you want that, you can email us at afrohairscience@gmail.com. And if you're in our chat, you'll get 30 minutes with us. Okay. We'll spend more in-depth time because you guys have really been rocking it out with us, and we appreciate you so much. Last but not least, I would like to give a super duper shout out to my fellow professionals over at the OAB. That's the Ohio Association of Beauticians. Let me give them a super duper big fat round of applause. I think what I'm going to try to do is just try to get one of those, try to grab a member to come on if they're comfortable with coming on. So let me give them a big round of applause. And in case you don't know, the OAB stands for the Ohio Association of Beauticians, and this is a historical organization for barber and beauty professionals. They are actually entertaining. They're going to we already took a vote to include, the natural hair stylists into that community. So they're going to be working on that. But it's a wonderful organization very affordable, a lot of support, a bunch of elders. They're looking for younger people to come in and to help them move this organization into the 21st century. So if it is in your wheelhouse to be a part or collaborate with some people to do wonderful things in the industry, then this is the organization for you. And again, that's the Ohio Association of Beauticians. They do have a Facebook page that you can go and check them out. And again, that's the OAB, the Ohio Association of Beauticians. And our president is the one and only Dr. Brenda Kennard.
Oh, see.
Beautiful, beautiful human being. Okay. So I think that's it. Cheryl, you want to close us out with a closing thought on understanding scalp?
My closing thought, you jump cereal. Right. You jump on my closing thought, and then you get on, and then you go and be laying it down, and then I come back and hey. Next time, Kilola, will you please? God damn, don't hurt us, man.
I gotta make it be authentic because people they think that you and I rehearsed this. Like Cheryl, I don't understand. Cheryl has no idea of what I am going to do. Okay, she has no idea, and I'm just gonna show you guys. There's her thing. You see what it says? What's the topic? Cheryl, she don't know what I be talking about. You see what time that was? So we're not making this up, okay? We don't play around and try to rehearse and contrive. We are speaking to you guys from our hearts and our soul because we do care about humans, you know. Yeah. We ain't apologizing because it's just so happen to be all blacks, but everybody's welcome here, okay? Yeah. And so that's just really what we're here for you, and we're here for the industry. This is dedicated to Kafele, and just one small reminder to please go over to the underscore NHBC, okay, over on Instagram. They need your support to sign that petition, especially if you know people that's living in New York. Everybody got a cousin. Everybody know at least one person that lives in New York. I don't care. Yes, you do. You know at least one. No, you know somebody knows somebody that knows something about it. How's that? So please, y'all, we got to help them do this, okay? They're really fighting. They're trying. We're going to see if we can get them on. Maybe Kafele can come on with them. And so this is why we're dedicating this scalp situation, understanding scalp disorders, this podcast to Kafele, to show you guys that we can support you guys. We can help you out as licensed professionals, even if we're not in the state of New York. We can do this here from Ohio because we've been successful. We don't need 400, but you do need 200. And so there are professionals who are dedicated to giving you that amount of education. Okay. So I think that's it, Cheryl. One more hookup. We got to plug our homegirl, Yate.
Oh, yeah, Yate. Come on.
Yate, I got on, but you was kind of muted. I put it in the chat. I don't know if I had came in late or what. I don't know what had happened. But anywho, right here on YouTube, go over and subscribe to Real Roots TV. It would be nice to see some of you guys on Sunday at 8:00 p.m. EST. Cheryl and I were in the chat often. So let's come on over on Sundays and let's support Yate. She has wonderful, it's like a down-home, southern, Yate with her little country accent, like, come on, Ladosha, hi. I know Yate, like, that ain't how I talk.
Where them fans at?
Where them fans at? Y'all know y'all got them fans. Okay. All right, guys. Y'all have a wonderful night. You know what we say when we're signing out, right? We're always talking about a whole lot of peace, right? A whole lot of love, and for sure a whole lot of hair. But check it out. If you ain't got it, don't want it, can't stand the hair, you can't grow it. You know what we say? Don't even worry about it. You got them little bald patches and stuff. Don't worry about that stuff, y'all. Why? Because all of that is beautiful too, and so are you. Deuces, my good people. See you guys on Thursday. Sure, you ready for the chit chat tonight?
I'm ready.
Bam, bam, bam. Here damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming, get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your birthday. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips.